Okay. Hi, Abel.
Hey, how you doing? Good to meet you,
Happy
Gio.
uh, Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. You said
Hopefully,
Gio, correct?
yes, Gio.
All
Yes.
right.
Hopefully, you're liking this weather right now. Oh, I don't know where you're located right now. Are you based in the Rio Grande Valley right now, or are you
I
on the
am.
site? Okay.
No, I am here in Edinburgh, so it is super hot for me. It. I went to Mexico, I think a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't even that hot, sunny. It just the humidity and everything got me sick. So yeah,
No, yeah, I'd imagine. So, right before we begin, can you kind of introduce yourself to the viewers, a little bit about yourself? Where you work, if you can, what you
sure,
do.
sure.
Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and click on that notification bell.
I first started out my career about 10, 12 years ago, and I took my time going to the tech, and I ran my finger down both of the lists like that, and who paid the highest, and it came down to programmer, analyst, and welders. I'm not a welder kind of a guy, so I did programmer analyst, and going through the college over there and getting taught there at the it was called the Fox Tech, and programming was very difficult for me. I just did a couple hours of C plus programming, um, and we just got an intro to Python at the time, but it killed me. But as time went on, I started to understand what was going on in a broader sense, and I went away from programming for a little while, and I started doing some networking for my cousin who lives here in the area. He lives in Alamo. He has a managed service. He's a managed service provider for clinics, and started doing some troubleshooting there on the phone, doing some desktop stuff, and just getting to know the network. From there, I went over to a and I went from a network technician to a network I want to say like a junior network administrator. And I was working at Guzman and Munoz over in the cities. And I think that's where I got a lot of my experience as well. And I managed about 65 computers, and I did anything from blowing out the computers to um, installing their CAD, installing hardware, anything that had to do with the network or anything that he wanted me to do, including the website. I would go in there and I'd tinker with and I'd start to learn. From there, I had an opportunity to go back to Wisconsin, which where I'm originally from, at a financial institute called Thrivent, and it was in their SOC department. And right away, I knew security at the time was fairly new, even new now, and I wanted to jump into it. I knew it was going to be a lucrative field. I knew it was going to be something that's going to be booming and very interesting to me. So when I started my job there at the SOC Center, it was a little bit different than I had been used to, and we were all in cubies and getting to know the guys. The culture's different. It was a great place. I learned a lot. I was the sim guy, so they dropped a 1,000-page manual on my desk first day, and they said, "Okay, learn ArcSight," and that's where I started from. So from there, I spent about 5 years there in the SOC Center. I was a contractor, and the contract did end. So I moved on to another company. It was Schneider Trucking, and I was uh, a compliance. I was working as a IT administrator there, and I was doing compliance help for them. I would go inside the Oracle system and just look and compare users' rights and privileges to the groups and stuff like that, and just pulling data from different places of their other warehouse and stuff like that. So that was real interesting too. But overall, as I started to see the landscape, it was so important. I felt that small businesses were cybersecurity aware, and at the time, a lot of these things started coming up, even like MSSPs, which they had expanded from an MSP, which would be a managed security service provider. And that's where the realm I wanted to step into and help out small businesses so I could help them become more cyber secure. On this road, when I opened up my business, uh, uh, COVID had hit. So a lot of the stuff that I had networked through was through Facebook and Facebook groups. But over the time, I met some great people, great connections. Went to Chicago several times. I met some great people over there. Um, a lot of people hustling and making their dreams come true. One guy, uh, Chris. Chris lived about 2 hours from me, and he opened up his cybersecurity or MSP, and he started doing networks. And he would travel the country, still does, and he does animal shelters uh, animal rescues. And from from Friday to Monday, his crew will come in, rip out all the network, and then he'll replace it all. And the guys are up 2, 3 days sometimes. And I got to go experience that with him and kind of ride along with his crews and stuff. And multi-millionaire deal. I mean, he's a super smart guy. I think it was like day 2 we were up, and he came in and he was asked something about his network, and he was plugging down the plugs and stuff like this. I forget right off the top of my head. They have a name to them, but I mean, he was naming stuff off right off the top of his head. Super smart, super intelligent, and I was just glad to experience some of how he runs his company. So just a lot of great connections, great business connections and stuff, and I hope that down here we can get something going where we can have a group that we can collaborate a little bit more. Um, I think in the past, IT people have not really been collaborating. I learned what I learned, how I learned it, and you're going to have to learn it on your own. I think over COVID, that changed a little bit, and more people are collaborating. You can learn so much on YouTube. There's so much to be learned on some of these groups and stuff like that. I try to take advantage of as much of it as possible. I'm a Python guy, but I don't do anything as a programming or anything. I can script and I can automate and stuff. I feel comfortable there. Um, and in that space. The AI stuff, really, really enjoy that, and looking at those AI agents and what they can do, and the business automation. That just blowing my mind all the time. Now I guess they're going from these AI agents where they're creating AI
Mhm.
agent all into a cluster of a droid. Now they're droids. Yeah, it's moving so fast. And when I try to tell people, I mean, AI is something like a second brain to me, something that's an assistant to me, something that's going to help me out in my daily life. And people get scared. They're like, "Oh, AI is going to take over the world," and it's just, I think as it starts to move and continue to evolve, people will see that how helpful this is. But, uh, yeah, a lot to be talked about. Again, I really hope that we can get some kind of group down here so we can expand and share more experiences with. Uh, did a real quick search on some of the large incidents down here, and right away Mission came up. And Mission at the beginning of the year, um, they said that they had state help. And I know that cybersecurity people are hard to come by, and good people are even more difficult to come by. And that space is dominated by a few people, and they pay them very well. Um, the likelihood of them getting in anybody of that caliber in a couple months is unlikely.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'd imagine.
I kind of scratched my head. I was like, how did they find somebody? I mean, it's only been 6 months now, 7 months, and I just some of the things that kind of like, I don't know, it's a patch job maybe. They're still not understanding how to cover the incident, or maybe state got involved and got their people involved, and now and I look for jobs over there, to see if they're hiring, but I don't see anything there as well. But going to school, I took some classes. I said, I'm just going to take the technical classes. I'm not going to take anything else. And I jumped back out and I started getting my work experience there, as I mentioned earlier. Um, I never got a degree. And I think that has been something that when I go and talk with others, they think, well, he doesn't have a degree. And there's in this space, I don't think that you really need one. Um, I think the traditional way of thinking and the education today um, doesn't really um, um, how do I want to say it? Not that it's any good or is bad. It's just that I think you can educate yourself, especially with computers, with all the resources that there are out there today. So you find somebody who's sharp, somebody who's eager, somebody who's willing to put their nose to the grindstone. I think these are the people that we're looking for. And these are the people who are going to push us toward this the next decade, next 2 decades.
And I guess it's safe to say that you're an example of, hey, if you put your mind to it, you can just accomplish about everything with or without a degree. Would that be correct assessment?
I would like to think so, and not to say that I'm saying no to a degree. I know over here with the UTRGV, they have a great SOC center, which started last year. Again, when I started in the SOC center, that was 8 years ago. So I'm sure that if I were to be collaborated with or talked with, I'm sure I could, help them or look at their stuff and, well, in comparison to what I've seen in the past, this is what I've seen to compare to what you guys have right now. Um, I think another thing that kind of popped out as a red flag for me when I seen a mission that they had bought $44,000 in firewalls, and they were going to not just the city but also the police department too. $44,000 ain't a lot of money, to secure your infrastructure. I mean, I have a home lab. I'm a home labber myself. Um, I spent $2,500 uh, on my firewall, and that's because I got it. I was a checkpoint partner, and it's a $5,000 firewall. So I mean, $44,000 for the city. I don't know. I mean, I'm a small fry. Just some of the things that kind of pop out, make me question what's going on there. But I think the more that we collaborate and the more that we see that people are eager to learn and eager to push forward into this next portion of AI, I think we're going to start to expand here in the Valley.
And it's a great little segue to my, I guess, my first question. So, what are the most common cyber threats individuals and small businesses, like you mentioned, face today, and how have they evolved recently, in your opinion?
Uh, I think with the home, we all need to be a more security aware, and uh, I believe they thrown around the word hygiene or a good hygiene, internet hygiene, from the kids up to the senior citizens, because now senior citizens need to be getting on the internet, and everything's gone to the internet. And uh, I think the peer-to-peer is very important, that we start looking at that, and just making sure that the kids are not infecting your computer without knowledge. um, just basic understanding of security for the home user. um, I think for the businesses, and um, the comparison, I think I look at here is up there. We've seen a lot of attacks on MSPs, and when I came down here, it was a lot of attacks on the school districts, and it was a little bit different for me. I was like, wow, I said, man, you just a little weird, but I take a breath here. Just looking at that, I thought to myself, how are those being run? Are there MSPs who run the school districts, or how is that business being taken care of? Because I understood even up there that the in-house was taking care of their own school district. But again, because we never really got hit, I never really paid attention to it. Um,
Okay.
Over here, the dealerships are huge, and they get hit a lot up there. They're go-to for a lot of the MSPs, but I don't see a lot of MSPs going to those folks. My primo, my cousin, he sticks to his pillars are the financial, excuse me, the healthcare sector, and that's where he stays. But these dealerships really need to be protected, and especially the large ones that we have here.
Again, just to reiterate, when you mean up north, you were mainly based on Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is central Wisconsin there,
Central
right close
Wisconsin.
to Green Bay.
So
Yeah.
right here in the Rio Grande, we still have probably a lot of stuff to do still then to protect ourselves, would you say?
Most definitely, yes, most definitely, and I think uh, creating these groups will give us a good idea of where we're standing and how we need to be educating the schools, the businesses, and the individuals. Because boy, Gio, just going to the grocery store is there are so many people here. It's just unbelievable. There are just so many people, and everyone has a device. So I mean, it's very important that we get a handle on what's going on in collaboration with one another, so we can go forward. Because there's very few Hispanics in the cybersecurity field. Um, the both companies that I was with, I was the only person there, the only Mexican there, and I think that's important. How that the schools down here start to get and change their programs a little bit, so they can continue to push students out. And we're known down here to be pushing out techs.
So my next question is, what new cybersecurity threats or trends are you most concerned about in the next 1 to 2 years, maybe even further, that the average person should be aware of? For example, AI-powered scams, deepfakes. Can you give us some of your insight?
I think some of these devices, these IoT devices, again, my watch, a lot of these devices in the home that automatically connect, and they're fun to use, but all of a sudden then we forget that they're connected. And there's people who do drive-bys, or they're looking for ways to use their new IoT hacking devices. Some of the flipper zeros, they're doing a lot of the modules and stuff like that, where you can connect to Flipper Zero, and you can use them as pen testing tools. But once somebody understands what they can do with them, then it's their, whether or not they want to continue to push toward those open doors. I don't know if you heard, there was in Mexico that there was a hacker that they had hired, and they found FBI's telephone, and he did some hacking, and he started to find out the contacts of where this phone had connected to, and the metadata, and who they were. And I was like, oh no. So again, just understanding what we can do with these tools, and how we can block some of this activity that will go negative, instead of using that knowledge to go positive. Because again, there's so much to be learned. There's so much to go forward with, that us as a people down here can be known as, hey, we're techs down here. And wherever you go, yeah, where are you from? Rio Grande Valley, and they'll know, hey, those guys make techs down there.
Yes, of course. And well, now that sounds very interesting. It's a perfect segue to my next question, because now I'm pretty sure the viewers up to this point are now curious. So, can you describe a typical day in your role? Right, you're a information security administrator. What are your primary responsibilities? Can you just give us some insights of what exactly, maybe a little bit more, what you do, if you can?
Sure. I can tell you, as a small business owner,
Okay.
you know, um, typically I'll start out my day looking at what kind of new ransomware or any kind of new threats have been emerging into the field. Um, I'll look at that. I'll review any kind of emails or anything that might be coming through the line that I might be curious in. Any kind of zero-day threats that I should be aware of. Um, Other than this, maybe some um, uh, IT seminars. I do a lot of teaching on cybersecurity awareness. Um, a lot of the day is taken up by meetings, um, but I do enjoy doing a lot of research, and that's where I try to focus and just trying to be aware of what's going on and who's doing what and how we need to improve.
No, that sounds very interesting. So it's a lot of kind of research and tinker. Do you tinker around with like a hardware? Because you said you had your own home lab.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like to do so. And I'm a Cisco guy. A lot of
okay.
the people up north are where in the central Wisconsin area are all Cisco. So I have a Cisco lab, and a checkpoint guy, one of my mentors early on in my career, helped me learn checkpoint. Checkpoint's a great company. Um, let's see. I enjoy tinkering around with Raspberry Pis. I enjoy tinkering around with some of the lab, doing different configurations on my network. Right now, I'm reading Zero Day Trust and just how the security is going and where we're going to. That's going to be real interesting, and how many companies are applying this Zero Day Trust and how much we're going forward with that here in the RGV. Are you a
So
tinker? You like to tinker around?
um, I do, but like I mentioned, I use Oracle. And you're more of VMware.
Yeah.
So I like to spin up some Windows virtual machines, but I'd like to start maybe using Kali Linux or in Ubuntu. Uh,
Oh, I use both of those. Yeah.
okay, so yeah, I gotta start. I do, but I've been kind of a little bit slow. But I'll probably look back at this interview and kind of take away some stuff from you and kind of just think about it now more. And that's what I
Sure.
like doing about these interviews, talking to somebody like yourself, seeing what it's like, a day in the life of yourself, right? What you tinker with and how you stay up to date. And that probably is another good segue onto my next question. How do you stay updated on the
Yeah.
latest threats, technologies, and practices in such a rapidly evolving field?
That and it's real difficult to do so and know everything. And a lot of the folks I talk to or friends and family don't really know what I do. They're a little bit confusing. I know he does computers, but trying to stay up to breast with all the latest cyber stuff is not easy. But tinkering helps you get involved more on, say, like some of the I'm thinking about the uh, it's slipped my mind here. Let me pull down my screen. Um, I thought I had it on the top. I want save tabs, but there's threat intel, where you run your viruses and stuff like that, and they have a list of viruses that you go. There's a website there that you can go and check, where the latest viruses are and stuff like that. GitHub is real good. GitHub is growing and growing and growing. I mean, they have a repository there that is just a whole universe in itself. So the GitHub is real important for me in checking out and trying to get involved in any collaborations that I can, using the little bit of knowledge that I do have either in Python or expanding my knowledge in IoT devices, any kind of Raspberry Pi collaborations that I can do. And again, some of the small business stuff, I stay up in tune with some of the guys that I met over the COVID break. One of the guys up in Michigan, he runs a real nice YouTube channel, Tom Lawrence. And again, a great guy. He has about, I want to say maybe 500,000, 800,000 viewers to him. And he's grown that over these last COVID break and until now. Very knowledgeable, very techy, and he covers a lot of the new stuff. And I keep in touch with him. There's a couple other YouTube channels that I'll watch. Excuse me, podcasts that I watch, and then some of the stuff on my iPhone. Are you an iPhone user?
I barely switched to Samsung.
Oh,
So
did you?
I use Samsung now.
How you like
Android. I'm
that?
Android platform. I
Yeah,
like it a lot. Yes,
yeah.
but hey, you know, I like both, but I like to flip back and forth
Uh,
because
I
that's just how
thought
I am.
I thought it was the same thing, flipping back and forth. Yeah, I just flipped over to iPhone last 2 years now. I was helping out some friends in Chicago, and most of her customers were iPhone, so I wanted to make sure that I was versed in iPhone and Mac and stuff. So, but I have not liked it. I'm a Android guy, I'm a PC guy, um, and just it's nice. It's a nice phone. I have a nice phone. But yeah, I don't know about iPhone.
No, yeah, no, for sure. I love it. I love Android. I think I might stay there. You never
Yeah,
know. I might switch
right.
back because I
Yeah.
have, family members that also use iPhone. They're diehard iPhone fans. So
Yes, yes.
it's
I did wanted to add in there, to you before I jump too far, that ChatGPT Callie. Callie has a ChatGPT that you can kind of bounce questions off and stuff. I have not used it yet, but I've I'm a Kali Linux guy. I enjoy Linux myself. You know, a whole world of tools in there to learn. The OWASP tools to um, any kind of uh, incident response to crawling. I see a lot of web crawling. And matter of fact, I came across a presentation or a news article saying that websites are going to start charging you per crawl. So you won't be able to use AI anymore to crawl their site anymore. And they're going to start charging people per crawl. Well, first of all, I didn't know that it was legal to crawl somebody's website. But now with AI, they crawl everybody's website, but they're going to try to put a stop to that. So
and for
that's
our
something.
viewers that don't know what crawl is, what can you let us know what crawl is?
Sure. It's a little uh, script or scripting that you can run that will take a look at your whole website and pull out maybe email or pull out titles or pull out maybe even passwords, depending upon how kind of what kind of security you have on your website.
Oh, I see. And I was also kind of tinkering around with that. Trying to, I looked up at some YouTube videos and it was just basically maybe a script
Yes,
trying to get everybody's emails from each website.
sure.
Um, and I was looking at that, so I didn't know that. Oh, so it's going to become illegal, is what you were saying.
Yeah, they're gonna again. When I started looking at doing something like that, it was with a Python add-on called Beautiful Soup, and it was part of a school project. But I hadn't heard that. I mean, it wasn't. It was something that you weren't allowed to do. I mean, it was something that you would pull out maybe titles from, but stuff like emails and things like that, where that program wasn't able to pull those things. But now using AI is able to pull even more data than we have been previously pulling. So much, therefore, they're going to start trying to charge AI or people who crawl their sites.
Wow. And I know it's not a question that I had sent you over to. I didn't, I didn't send you over this question. But what do you think of AI? Do you think it's going to ever replace us programmers and cybersecurity professionals like yourself? Where do you see it in the near future?
I think this is going to be something that is a positive thing for us who want to continue to learn and continue to grow in with more skills. Uh, I don't think that it'll ever replace us, but I think if you're stagnant and don't want to move forward, I think that you'll find that other people will take that job. Um, and I think AI is a great tool. I think where they're going with it and these AI agents and these now these droids and stuff, I think we're headed toward a really it's a right now living in this era. We're moving so quick and everything that's going on. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I agree too. How about vulnerabilities? Now, can we is this something that an attacker, you know, can use ChatGPT to maybe expedite vulnerabilities? Do you think, or is that
I think so.
okay?
And with these tools, it's going to become easier to do those things. And that's why we need to start educating everybody on cybersecurity, on how to secure yourself, because people are still using those old passwords of 1 2 3 4 and password zero
Yeah.
one. We have to get out of that. And down here, again, a lot of these things need to be aware on the business side, so they can start changing their habits and understanding that this is a whole new world, and it's not going to change. If anything, they're getting more and more savvy.
Yes, and like again, I'm kind of going off to the script a little bit because I didn't send you over this question, but you're a business owner, you're a cybersecurity business owner, but do you see a lot of businesses coming, reaching out to you and say, hey, my whole thing's a mess. I had some other guy and I'm being attacked right now, or I have stuff locked, right? Somebody's locked my computer. Do you see that a lot, or is everybody kind of safe
There
for the
is
most part? Okay.
no, there is a common thread that people do get ransomware. If I'm talking to 4 or 5 business owners, we got out of the 4 or 5 at least 2 who are involved with some side of cybersecurity incident. So that's common, especially down here. Talking to my cousin, it's very hard for him to move a lot of his businesses and business owners into that cyber secure mindset. So with that, I just believe down here it's going to start getting bigger and bigger. The cybersecurity incidents.
So it cannot be that bad. So my last question, we wanna go into the positive side now, but
Sure,
the
sure.
exciting part is, how did you get into cybersecurity, and what initially sparked your interest in this field?
I think for myself, early on, I was working with my cousin here, and I started to see that here in the valley, a lot of security was being ignored, and it was very difficult to move the business owner to that mindset that they needed to secure their network. Fighting them on servers, on the cost of the server or cost of a firewall, and I started seeing emerge from HIPAA, their the HIPAA regulations, and from there I started seeing that again that this is a bigger thing than just here in the valley. It's almost everywhere, and HIPAA's trying to get control of this, and um, I started seeing again a big opportunity for people who want to jump into that field. So I was excited about it. I became that junior network administrator, and from there, when I had the opportunity to move to Wisconsin as a SOC member, I jumped at the opportunity. So I've always liked security. I thought it was a great emerging field. A lot of the IT folks thought it was something that was here today and gone tomorrow, but I don't think that's so. I think we're just going to see more and more um, the cyber incidents, therefore needing more security people.
Great, thank you for that, Abel. That was all my questions. Did you have anything else to add?
I think I jabbered on a lot. I appreciate you inviting me onto the show, and I hope that there's great things for you, Gio. You seem like a great guy, and it seems like you got your tech career going in the right direction.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And also, I mean, thank you also for being on and taking some time out of your day to, having me ask you these questions. So I really appreciate it. And I cannot let you go without mentioning. Can you mention your business again, where they can find you?
Sure.
If you can, because I know you said you have a business. Do you have a website so people can reach out and contact you through there, or whatever you feel comfortable sharing, right? So.
Uh, Through the transition right now, I've been coming down here. It's been the third month, and things have been kind of in turmoil. My website is not up yet. It's ACSP and we'll be coming up back up, remodeling my website and stuff. So we just got to get our feet back on the ground here, and uh, yeah, we'll be sending you that information here at a later date. So
Okay. No, yes.
ACSP is my IT consulting company, and we'll be revising our website here soon.
And what was it again? What was your IT company? ACS?
ACSP.
ACSP. Okay, and that's your IT consulting company.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Abel. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Gio.
Happy Wednesday, and have a great rest of your day.
And happy Wednesday to you.
Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. See you in the next one.